Welcome to Petals and Pride. This story is brought to you by Petals and Pride, where every petal tells a tale, and every tale celebrates pride. Join us as we embark on heartfelt journeys, unraveling the beauty of love, life, and the extraordinary in the everyday. Together, we bloom with stories that inspire, uplift, and bring the rainbow of human experiences to life. Katie's almost wedding, and the absolute chaos that followed. Katie had always been good at pretending. She pretended to be the perfect daughter, the perfect Christian, the perfect fiancée. For years, she had convinced herself that marrying Joey was the right thing to do. He was everything a girl was supposed to want: kind, wealthy, respectable. If she married him, she would have security, a beautiful home, a stable life. But deep inside, she knew the truth. She was a lesbian. She had always been one. And as much as she tried to ignore it, push it down, bury it beneath layers of expectation and duty, it never went away. The beginning of the end. The wedding had been going smoothly until their original wedding planner, Miss Margaret, an 80-year-old woman who had been arranging extravagant ceremonies for decades, suddenly passed away. The whole thing was tragic, and Katie felt terrible about it. But there wasn't time to mourn. There was a wedding in a week, and they needed a new planner now. That's when Amy arrived. Amy was young, bold, out and proud. She strutted into their first meeting, wearing a tailored suit instead of the usual planner's dress, her hair cropped short and dyed a striking shade of auburn. She was confident, funny, and effortlessly charming. And Katie was doomed. At first, she convinced herself that she only admired Amy, that she respected her courage, and wished she could be as free. But admiration didn't explain the way her pulse raced when Amy smiled at her, or how her heart pounded whenever Amy leaned in close to fix the train on her dress, or how her stomach did actual Olympic-level gymnastics whenever Amy laughed. No. This wasn't admiration. This was desire. The spiral. The closer the wedding day got, the more Katie unraveled. She tried to focus on the bridesmaids' dresses, the floral arrangements, the seating chart. But every time she was around Amy, she felt like she was suffocating in her own lies. The final blow came the night of the rehearsal dinner. Everything had gone off without a hitch. The best man gave a heartfelt speech. Her parents beamed with pride, and Joey, sweet, patient, clueless Joey, held her hand and whispered, "I can't wait to spend forever with you." Katie wanted to vomit. Amy was standing off to the side, watching her with an expression Katie couldn't decipher. And for a moment, she imagined what it would be like if she were marrying someone like her instead. And that was when she knew. She couldn't do this. The wedding that wasn't. The morning of the wedding was chaos. The bridesmaids were fussing over their hair. Her mother was adjusting her veil. Joey's family had already started posting about the wedding of the year on social media. Katie felt like she was walking toward her own execution. And then the music started. She walked down the aisle, each step heavier than the last. She saw Joey at the end, smiling at her like she was his entire world. Her stomach clenched. He said his vows, and they were beautiful. Women in the crowd were already dabbing at their eyes. Then it was her turn. She opened her mouth. Nothing came out. The silence stretched. Murmurs started in the crowd. Joey's smile faltered. Katie took a shaky breath. I can't." A collective gasp rippled through the church. Katie felt her mother stiffen in the front row. Joey's face turned from confused to alarmed. "I can't do this," she continued, voice trembling but growing stronger. Because I've been keeping a secret. My whole life, I've been pretending. But I can't pretend anymore." She turned to the audience, locking eyes with her mother. "I'm a lesbian." And that was when all hell broke loose. Her mother gasped like she had been personally stabbed at the altar. Joey's mother fainted on the spot. The best man choked on his drink. A woman in the back screamed, and someone's elderly grandmother loudly whispered, "Well, I never." Joey just stood there, frozen. "You what?" Katie's eyes filled with tears. "I'm so sorry, Joey. You don't deserve this. You deserve someone who loves you the way you love me." His jaw clenched. For a long moment he said nothing. Then, finally, he nodded. "I just wish you told me sooner."
So, did she?
But the damage was done. Then, in a stunned silence, someone clapped. Katie turned her head. It was Amy. She was grinning. Katie let out a breathless laugh, feeling something she hadn't felt in years: relief. The aftermath. The wedding, obviously, was cancelled. Katie's mother went into full crisis mode, wailing about, "What will the neighbors think?" Joey's dad nearly sued her for emotional damages, which, legally, was not a thing. But in the months that followed, something incredible happened. Katie lived. She moved into her own apartment. She started therapy. She cut her hair, got a new job, and most importantly, she stopped pretending. And Amy? Amy was there. They started hanging out more, first as friends, then as something more. And one night, while sitting in Amy's car outside Katie's apartment, Amy cupped her cheek and whispered, "You know, you never needed my courage. You had your own all along." Then she kissed her. And Katie knew this was real. No pretending. No guilt. Just love.